All right. All right. Welcome to the Tuesday night Principal Giggles forecast. Principal Cairo broadcast from DE and Band of Brothers. I'm Dr. Brian Moriarty, your esteemed MC for tonight's exciting broadcast from Dr. Claudia. But I'm joined by Emma. Hello, Emma.
Hello.
And how are you tonight, Emma?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's okay. You tired? You ready for bed?
No.
Are you ready to listen to this exciting DE-inspired talk?
Yes, I'm ready to giggle my whole way through.
All right. Well, we've got some announcements we're going to get to first. Breaking news. I know you think I've been saying the next DE is in April, but wow, get ready. There is now a DE intensive coming up in less than a month. That's Saturday, March 7th, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. There is a DE intensive at Life University. You won't want to miss it. There's a QR code on there. I never understood how to scan a QR code when I'm watching it on my phone, but I don't know. Probably some young kid would figure that out. But anyway, get registered. Less than a month away. 15 amazing speakers. Marietta, Georgia, Life University. An awesome all-day intensive session at Life University. Our first time back there in forever. You don't want to miss this. So make sure you show up big. Go to lifede.com. Get registered for the intensive and get there. We'd love to have you. It will be an amazing time. I'll be there, I know for sure. So it's going to be great. Now, we have some other upcoming Dynamic Essentials meetings. We've got the winter, the winter DE happened, so we don't have that one. That was fun. It was cold and a little bit of snow. That was cool. But then we got a spring one coming up April 16th to the 19th in Clearwater, the Sheridan Sand Key. Then we're back in Atlanta at the Atlanta Marriott Perimeter Center. And then we're back October at the Atlanta Marriott Perimeter Center. So all these dates are at lifede.com. Go there, get registered. We got our teams. Make sure you get connected with your teams, purple, orange, yellow, and blue. We had some great meetings, great connections. So get connected with your teams and keep in touch to get you through to the next DE. Okay, and there is our spring DE, the Clearwater one, right on the Gulf of Mexico. You don't want to miss that. Booked by March 26th. Booked now. Room block, yes, get going on that. So we got the intensive in March. We got the Clearwater one in April. A lot of DE for you to get involved in. Go to lifede.com to get registered, right, Emma? Emma, you're going to be there in Clearwater, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that one, right?
I want to be at the summer one.
Oh.
The summer one's my favorite.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll just go to all of them. That'll be great, right?
Yeah.
Just start bringing you again. Yeah. 4 minutes. Yeah. Fast. Okay. We'll get to our incredible speaker tonight. Dr. Claudia is just an amazing DE speaker. She's now an operating partner at Murrayville Chiropractic and at that Boondocks Coffee stuff. She's originally from Clifton, New Jersey. That's where I'm from, is New Jersey. I'm from Watchung, New Jersey. Clifton's not too far from there. So she's a Jersey girl, just like I'm a Jersey boy. And 1994 graduate of Life University. So 32 years in practice she'll be celebrating this year. So a lot of experience, just an absolute sweetheart of a lady. I had a wonderful lunch with her at DE. And she's just amazing. I think the world of her, and I can't wait to see her share tonight. So from Murrayville, is that Murrayville, Georgia? Yeah, from Murrayville, Georgia. Let's give it up for Dr. Claudia. We love and appreciate you.
Hey, Alrighty, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I always love seeing Emma. She's just the cutest thing. And she said we're going to giggle our way through this, and we really, really are. So thank you guys so much for having me. I just love you guys. I'm coming off of a great DE and a sweet little snowstorm. So that's always kind of fun here in Georgia. We don't get to have that too often. Um, like Dr. Brian said, I am from New Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl. I graduated life in 1994, practiced in North Fulton, Alpharetta, Georgia until about 2020. And then I've been in Murrayville, Georgia, up here in the beautiful mountains since 2020. So I'm going to share a little bit, be a little bit raw, a little bit transparent, and really not for shock or attention or anything like that. But I just hope that this level of honesty and transparency could maybe free someone else up and just let you know that this is a safe space. So thank you guys for having me. I grew up, I'm a first generation American, very, very happy. My parents came over here from Germany right after the war, and grew up in a home that was not a very happy home. My parents got divorced when I was about 4, but there was a lot of fighting. There was a lot of not fun stuff going on in my household growing up. I always get a little bit jealous when I talk to people, or their memories, or have all these wonderful memories of their childhood and that kind of stuff. And I do have some good memories, but really, like, my first memories were of fear and stress, and that's not how anybody should really grow up. But my parents, they got divorced, and there was a lot of fighting and stuff, and I have very vivid memories of sitting in a closet with my brother, just kind of hiding, listening to the fighting and the threats and that kind of stuff, and just crying. And that was just the way that my life started that way. My parents didn't have a lot of like pouring into us. We didn't grow up with self-esteem. We didn't really grow up feeling safe or valued or heard or any of that. We really had no voice. We didn't really feel protected, no safety, that kind of stuff. And my dad had moved to California, and I was living in New Jersey with my mom, and I had to spend summers with him. So I had to fly from the time I was 9 years old by myself from New Jersey to California every summer, spend the whole summer there, and really didn't know anybody there. Never really felt like I was in a safe space. And when you grow up that way, you really kind of, it puts you in fight or flight. It puts you in that fight or flight feeling immediately. My mom really did the best that she could, and I'm very thankful for her. But, growing up the way she did, also in such a fight or flight during a war kind of situation, she raised me with that mindset, very limited, always thinking small, thinking small of herself. And she would kind of raise me with that mindset. I remember I had tried out for gymnastic team, and I had some skills. Like, I wasn't bad. I was really pretty good. But she told me, she said, when you go to the tryout, let them know, like, you've never done this before. So that's what I did. I would go, and during the tryout, I would tell the coaches, hey, I've never done this before, blah, blah, blah. And of course I didn't make the team because I presented myself with such a lack of confidence. And, that memory sticks in my mind, that it's such a it was such a pivotal point. I was playing small. And most of my life, I had done that. I had shrunk myself down. I was told just to look pretty and be quiet and really have no voice. Always kind of fitting in someone else's narrative. I was told, don't be so outgoing, don't be so loud, don't sing, don't talk to so many people, just all this kind of weird stuff. And I'm telling you this because it just kind of formed the way that I felt about myself. I always felt small. And growing up that way led to like severe anxiety. I never wanted to leave the house because when I left the house, I left. I went 3,000 miles away from everybody I knew for an extended period of time, and then had, so that developed into severe anxiety, eating disorder, shame, worry, like excessive planning, always trying to kind of prepare for the next storm. And that really wires your nervous system. It wired my nervous system really early on just to kind of live in fight or flight. When your first moments of your life are like that, there's really you don't know any different. But it's taken a lot of work and intentionality to rewire my nervous system. But I was blessed to come across chiropractic. And I met Dr. Tom Sidoti in 1986. And I started working for him. And, it was just such an amazing place. Like, this office was so different from any place I'd ever been in my whole life. It was so joyful, so fun, so full of love, so full of acceptance. It was just a healing place. Like, I couldn't be at work enough. I was hired part-time and I was like, I want to be here every day. So however you can have me here, I just want to be here. And really, that was the first time that somebody saw my potential and spoke love and encouragement, and really kind of encouraged me to get on the path that God had planned for me. And that was to be a chiropractor, and it's been 32 years that I've been doing this now. And I love it more today than I ever have. And I am so incredibly thankful just to have chiropractic as part of my life. I'm not going to cry. I think that sometimes we forget just how, just the magnitude of what we do. It's so easy to get wrapped up in the back pain, neck pain, my elbow hurts. And, we deliver these awesome adjustments and we don't always see the healing, because sometimes the healing is severe trauma. Sometimes the healing is eating disorders. Sometimes the healing is healing from shame of abuse or abandonment or those kind of things. And you can't quantify those things. You can't measure them on a scope. Sometimes we don't even know about them, like for our patients. But it's so much greater than we can even imagine. So I am so thankful and honored to be able to be a chiropractor. A lot of times people say that hurt people hurt people. And that's not always true. That's really not always true. Sometimes people who've been hurt early on in their lives, they go the opposite. They kind of overcorrect. They become the ones that they tolerate too much. In the name of forgiveness, they give themselves away just in order to keep the peace. I know that happened to me in my life for the longest time. I went overboard to be a protective parent, to shield my kids and take care of them and make sure that they were always loved and that I always spoke life and truth into them. So when people say that, I don't really like that, because that's not always true. I feel like when God revealed to me that it was time to make a change, that he made it so clear, like now it's time to really step into who I created you to be. And he made that path so clear, and he provided such a way that I could step away from all those lies and all the duplicity that I had been living, being in a marriage that was not good, that was hurtful, and really just not honoring him. And just to live in the truth, the truth and in the safety, and to be free and to love and serve without fear and without limitations. I know that it was funny. I had a hard reset. This past DE, Awais had spoken. Let me see what exactly he said. It was so wonderful. He was talking about your phone, when your phone's kind of wonky and it's not functioning the way it's supposed to. It's doing all these weird things and you're not really getting out of your phone like its potential. So sometimes you have to do a hard reset, and you have to bring your phone back to its original factory settings. And I love that so much because I feel like God really provided me with a hard reset in 2020 and set me back to my original factory settings. And for me, that's what God says about me, not my parents, not any other people, but what God says about me. And, he says that we are his workmanship, that we are loved, that we are valuable, that we're worthy and chosen, that we're set apart and forgiven, that we are free, that we are his masterpiece, that we are never alone, that we are beloved and delighted, and he actually sings over us. Can you imagine the God of the universe is singing over me and singing over you? And that's the truth, and that is the original factory settings that we can hang on to, because that is the truth. Sometimes in life, we lose. Like I have lost stuff. I've lost my home, my office. I've lost time with my children. I've lost friends. I've lost money. But in reality, I didn't really lose because God was moving. He was removing burdens off of my life, away from false friends, away from abusive life, away from a space of, pain and fear and fight or flight, and moving me into a space of love and of healing, and of incredible growth, of freedom, of faith, of peace, just simplicity, no longer duality. And it's exhausting living in duality. I urge you to never do that. Like, just have a simple life that honors God and serves others. And honestly, like, that's it. That's all I pray for every single day. Lord, just use me to be a blessing to these patients for their good and for your glory, period. I don't care what happens to me. Protect my children, draw them closer to you. But literally, that's my prayer every single day. And, sometimes when God does that reset in your life, it's hard. It's called a hard reset, and it's hard and it hurts. But his promise in his word says that he's going to restore all things that seem lost. And he, honest to God, has done that for me. When I walked into Murrayville Chiropractic, I knew immediately, like, this is the practice of my dreams. Like, here I am. He's provided the practice of my dreams. My relationship with my children is so good. It's so honest, and it's so truthful. And I love that and I have a clear view of who my real friends are. And I've never been one that needs 100 friends. I have time for like 4 people, but I have good, honest relationships with those people, and I love them so much, and I'm so thankful. God has given me a beautiful home, and it's a sanctuary, and it's a beautiful place of healing. So, so grateful for that. And just a joy and a hope and a stronger faith. And I never am going to forget who I am, who God made me to be. And you can too. I want you to know and you to walk in that, the truth of who God has said that you are. The chiropractic principles are always true. Absolutely. We can carry that to the bank every single time. Marilyn said during DE, are we loyal to chiropractic or are we loyal to the principles? And we need to be loyal to the principles because it touches every part of our lives, every single part. Gosh, I just love that so much. I take so many notes at DE. It's just crazy. I have so many notes. But the previous DE, when I spoke, I talked about how I taught my kids how to drive. And, there's all these lines in the center of the road. There's like a dotted line, and then sometimes there's a solid line. Sometimes there are 2 solid lines, and when we get too close to those center lines, sometimes it gets a little dangerous. It gets a little hairy. So I always would encourage my kids to stick to that white line that's on the right-hand side, because that's a solid line. We can stick to that line and know that we're going to be safe. But then during DE this time, we had a snowstorm, and Steve LaFay came up to me and he said, I was thinking about you the other day when I was driving in the snow and I couldn't see the lines. So he said I had to focus on the car in front of me in order to stay safe. And I started thinking about that. And that's so wise, because sometimes we can't see the lines in the road. We have to be prepared for the snow or the ice or the different things that sometimes we can't see the lines. But we do have to follow the car in front of us. And that is what DE gives to us. It gives us the car in front of us, the mentors, the chiropractic mamas, the chiropractic brothers and sisters that have lived life, that have dealt with the losses, that have dealt with the struggles, and they came out stronger, with more faith, with more clarity, with more fire for chiropractic, because they went through the storms. In the last couple of years, we've watched and witnessed Marilyn and Mindy and Jamie and most recently Paula go through some difficult things, and it would be easy, especially when they're medical things. My mom's been in the hospital a bunch this year, and being in that kind of environment when you have the philosophy that you have is really uncomfortable. And it's so easy to get sucked into that fear. But I have watched that car in front of me through Marilyn and through Mindy and through Jamie and through Paula. And they have been that car in front of me going through the storm, going straight ahead. When I can't see the lines, I can see them. And they have been such a blessing to me. They have showed me and taught me how to weather the storms. And we're all going to have them. We hope not, but we know that that's going to happen. And when we do that, it's going to build our faith. When we have those chiropractic principles that come together in our faith, we're unstoppable. We can weather these storms, and we're going to weather these storms knowing that we're going to be able to minister and love on the people behind us who are going to be watching us. And that really is why we go through things. I think a lot of times when I go through things, it's a little easier to deal with when I sort of, Peter talked about this, living with neutrality. And I'm not a neutral person. I am high emotion, period. But when you go through these things, which you inevitably will, almost being able to say, wow, I am gaining this insight, I'm gaining this wisdom, and I'm going to be able to minister to someone else. I'm going to be able to encourage somebody else going through whenever they need encouragement and love. So I'm just so thankful for my DE family. I love you guys so much. I pray for you guys. Every time I go in the car on the way to the office, I'm praying for all of your offices just to be filled with people that you can love and serve for their good and for God's glory. And I do want to say one thing. There's like 6,000 people on the Facebook site in the DE page. Where are you guys? Like, we don't have 6,000 people coming to DE. Y'all need to get there. Selfishly, I want to meet you. I get a little cranky when I see posts from people and I'm like, I've never seen you. I have not missed a DE in 7 years, like 6 years. And I was here way before too, since 1986. So like, where are you guys? Selfishly, I want you guys to come. You need to come. Don't just stalk the Facebook page. Don't just take. Don't promote your business. Don't promote your podcast. Don't just try to sell something. Please just come, because we need you to show up. We need your wisdom. We need your energy. We just need to build the army. So y'all, please come. The next DE, we're going to have that intensive here at Life on March 7th. So come to that if you can and bring somebody, or show up in Clearwater. That's going to be April 16th through 19th. So I expect to see you guys. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great night. Emma, you need to go to sleep now because it's like past your bedtime and it's almost my bedtime. But I love you guys. And if I can do anything to encourage you and pray for you, please just message me anytime. I love you all, and I love you and appreciate you. And I'll see you in April. Thank you for having me.
Dr. Claudia, great job.
Thank you.
And you put Emma right to bed, so thank
Good.
you. Wow.
She's so sweet.
She's in bed listening to you from upstairs here.
No, she's so cute.
You did an awesome job. I just love your heart, and you're
Thank
right.
you.
These 6,000 people need to come. I mean, come to an intensive. That's easy. Like it's a one-day thing, or come to a whole weekend. It's
for sure.
I love it. And can I ask you one question? I happen to Facebook stalk you like I do every person I introduce on this Tuesday night call. Harding just comes on and is like, okay, here's, Tom and whatever. But like, I actually do my homework. And I saw that you had, sorry, just always got to dig at Andy. But anyway, I saw you had an adjusting table outside. What's the story for, that's your happy place. What's the story with that?
So I am blessed to be able to go on campus at University of North Georgia, and I adjust the students. And I go on Tuesdays, that's my day off, and I go and adjust whoever comes. So they have a big military school there. So I adjust the cadets, and I adjust the athletes, and I adjust whoever wants to come. So I just put my table out there a couple hours every Tuesday and get to serve.
That's so awesome.
Thank you. It's fun.
I always said I need a retractable roof on my office building, but I can't quite get it to work. But you have it because it's just open and you're getting the fresh breeze and adjusting people and serving. I mean,
yeah, it's been really cold here, and today it was actually 70 degrees. So I said I'm sitting outside, and it was great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you so much for sharing.
My pleasure.
The next DE, you are just a pure gift to chiropractic, and we love you. And let's do lunch again. That was so much fun.
That sounds great, and we look forward to your beautiful bride coming this time.
Yes, they will be there at the next one, and my kids. I'm so excited, buddy, and my team. I'm bringing everybody this next one, so get ready.
Beautiful.
Love and appreciate you, Dr. Claudia. Thank you all for being on the Tuesday night Principal Chiro broadcast by DE. We love and appreciate you guys. I'll see you next Tuesday night. Harding will be hosting. It'll be great.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night.